visit from the trip at Port of Baltimore. Dave, thank you and your team and the private sector partners for part of it. I came to do a water tour of the port during my campaign for the United States Senate. I promised to come back and look for ways we can continue to work together. I think all of you know that the Port of Baltimore is a huge job engine for the state of Maryland. It is growing, it's breaking records. For the third year in a row, they were ranked the most efficient port in the United States, and this means jobs in Baltimore City, in Baltimore County, and throughout the state of Maryland and beyond. And so we want to do everything we can to continue to support their activities. And there's a major federal investment in the port, primarily in clearing the channels so that you can take the very big ships coming through the Panama Canal. So we're going to work to make sure that those resources continue to be provided. That also means you've got to deal with some of the dredge material up and down the Bay Channel. We're going to be working with the Army Corps of Engineers on that. We're just talking to somebody who's been with the Army Corps for a long time before joining the Port of Baltimore. Chris, thank you for being part of that. And then there's the issue of the Howard Street Tunnel and making sure that we allow it to be the span, essentially, the width to be increased so that we can get double stacking of cargo. So thank you. We have a terrific representative here from CSX as well. We've been working as a congressional delegation to try to get the funds for the Howard Street Tunnel through what's called the Fast Lane program with the Department of Transportation. Maryland has submitted its proposal. We didn't make it on round one. We resubmitted it in December, and we're going to be working very closely, I hope, with the new administration to try to access those funds, which would be really important to increasing the ability of the port to bring in cargo and get it out by rail quickly. So looking forward to working with the team from the port administration, again, the public and private sector partners. And this was a great opportunity for me to see the port in action. So thank you for joining us. We're happy to. Grant, do you want to say a few words?
No, I mean, I think it's, we're very fortunate to have the Senator here today. Very engaging conversation. He definitely understands the need of the port. We're in a growth mode. Right? We have a lot of new volume coming to us, and without the dredging being taken care of, without new land development opportunities, we can't continue to grow the port. So it's important to have him here, to have his support, and I think we had a good day and a good exchange of information.
Senator Van Hollen, can I ask a question? Port of Baltimore is a model for public-private investment in the world and the country, but we got two sets of ideas. One from Mark Warner on a national infrastructure bank, and another one from Bill Schuster, the chairman of the House Transport thing, about using the bond market. And as a Maryland senator on the most important banking, agriculture, and appropriations, what do you think is the best, especially with this $1 trillion that President Trump has been mentioning for private sector infrastructure investment? Which would be the best road?
Let me first start where I hope there's an area of agreement, which is Donald Trump on the campaign trail talked about $1 trillion investment in modernizing our national infrastructure, everything from port infrastructure to broadband in rural and urban areas. I have joined my colleagues, a lot of my Senate Democratic colleagues, in putting forward a blueprint. We did that a couple weeks ago and encouraged President Trump to join us in that effort. I am also a supporter of an infrastructure bank. In fact, I put in legislation to do that. But my number one goal is to get everybody around the table and figure out the best way forward. I do think it's going to require a significant public investment going forward. This cannot be done solely through tax breaks, which is what some people are proposing. So let's see what we come up with. We put a proposal on the table. I just heard Donald Trump the other day talk again about how this was a priority. Let me say this: I wish the new Congress and the new administration had started out by talking about modernizing our infrastructure, something that brings people together. It's a huge need for Baltimore, for Maryland, and for the country. And it would have been much better to start out on point of common ground rather than some of the division we're seeing. But we're hoping we can get to that, and I look forward to working with all the folks at the port and all the state to get it done. As to the exact configuration, that's an ongoing discussion.
Thank you, Senator.
I know that